Ya. ¿Todo en orden? A ver, vamos a ver si es que no hay problemas en el audio. No quiero que haya problemas en el audio. A ver. A ver, a ver, a ver, a ver, a ver, a ver. Ya, no hay ningún problema. Creo que podemos dar comienzo. Ya. ¿Qué tal, gente? Soy Lobito. Bienvenidos a otro stream de Genshin Impact. Y esta vez ya, último acto de momento, acto 4. Es un acto largo, hasta donde tengo entendido, así que... No sé, nos quedamos en que... A ver, vamos a poner acá J. Ya estamos en el acto 4, porque el acto 4 empezó inmediatamente después del acto 3. ¿De acuerdo? El acto 4 se llama el enigmático fondo marino. O sea, fondo de bikini, vamos a ver a fondo de bikini ahí. Vamos a llegar a ver a Patricio, a Bob y todos ellos. Hemos tomado el día libre, supuestamente hemos tenido que pagar algunos cupones de abogado furro. Ey. Lobito H. Ey. No me está... ¿Quién me está personificando acá? Ah, Saúl. Ok. Pero ¿por qué te has puesto mi nombre, Saúl? Eso es personificación, ten cuidado. Aunque sea cambia algo. Pero no copies mi nombre, por favor. Si eres Saúl Goodman, ¿no? Ok. Empezamos este acto y ahora podemos investigar libremente. Entonces... tenemos 3 puntos de investigación. Este está más cerca porque los otros creo que hay que recorrer más cosas. No, le quité la F. Pero igual tienes hasta mi foto de perfil, hermano.
Yeah, you. Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
No, en realidad no deberías hacer eso. Te pediría por favor que no. Que no copies. Aquí también juegan las cartas.
You TCG players are like mint in the wild, literally sprouting up everywhere.
A ver, estos jugadores de invocación de los sabios. Una patada y salen
Hey, come on
cientos.
now. What's wrong with finding fellow invocation aficionados? Anyway, care to join me for a game?
No voy a ponerme a
alright.
jugar a las
No
cartitas,
pressure.
hermano, contigo. Peor si tienes ese bigote.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation in a place like this?
No lo puedo cambiar hasta 14 días. Eso es lo que pasa cuando se toman decisiones malas. Es como hacerte un tatuaje y después al día siguiente arrepentirte.
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, it's all a
Aunque sea, cambia tu
competition,
foto de
isn't it?
perfil.
It's all the same in my eyes. There are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you,
Pon
I
cualquier otro logo
immediately
menos el
thought,
mismo que tengo.
hey,
Aunque
even
creo que
outsiders
el que yo
from
tengo
other
es libre de
nations
uso,
play
pero de todas
cards.
maneras.
So I
Soy
came over to say
debo ser
hi.
el único usuario en YouTube que usa ese lobito que yo me encontré.
Sure.
Voy a crearme mi propio logo, creo. Tengo que crear mi propio logo porque estoy usando un logo que es, o sea, es libre de uso, pero de todas maneras necesito algo original ya.
Maybe you could start by telling us newcomers some stories about this place.
I thought you would have already heard everything by now.
Entonces esto significa que ya no tengo
All right,
abogado,
then. Did you
fantástico.
have anything specific in mind? Or do you want me
Ahora
to
cómo voy a
just
salir
pick a
de acá.
topic?
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it already.
All right. Have you heard any strange rumors since you've been? Did you know that there are some people who are always gossiping over in the corner?
Ahorita vengo. Ok. Pues
There
no
are
lo
two
sabía.
guys who are always skulking around in the corners of corridors gossiping. The bigger guy is Quisto, and the skinny one is Lavaroon. People call them the Bombshell Bros. I never really found their gossip very mind-blowing. It's pretty much just the same stuff that I hear about when I'm at work every day. If you're interested, you can go talk with them. They tend to talk a lot of nonsense, but they aren't exactly bad.
Good to know. Do you have anything else to tell us?
Let me think. Sounds like you want to hear something a little more tantalizing.
Exacto, queremos saber.
Did you know that the Duke was also a convict in the fortress of Meripede before?
Huh? Are you serious?
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. Who knows how he ended
Ya
up
sabía que él
rising up to
también era
become the
convicto,
warden,
pero no
though.
pensé que...
To go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? I'm not gonna lie, I kinda respect that. A forbidden zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up. I've never heard of that. Where did you hear about it?
It's just a rumor we've been hearing, but no worries if you've never heard of it. Do you have...
Anything else?
Oh, la interrumpí.
Not that I can think of, but I'll be sure to tell you anything interesting I hear next time.
No, no voy a jugar a las cartas con este men. A ver, tenemos otros dos. ¿Cuál está más cerca? 47, 52. Este de acá está más cerca. A ver.
Look, there are some people talking over there.
If you ask me, those pompous parasites on the surface act like they're all a bunch of aristocrats. Do any of them give half a hoot about a bunch of dogs like us?
Hey, speak for yourself, mate. I'm no dog.
Oh, you think you're special or something? If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest of us.
I don't buy that.
Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant flood and everyone had to start over?
Pues eso es lo que va a ocurrir.
What kind of filthy bilgewater are you spewing? I have family up there. You best shut your sewer hole and talk like that. Listen, things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? I've heard that you can still stay here and work even after you've served your sentence. Now, who wants to live in the ruddy overworld anyway?
And what makes you think they want to hire
O sea, es alguien que se ha acostumbrado ya tanto a estar ahí en el... en la prisión que ya no quiere irse. Debe haber gente así, ¿eh?
Whoa. Sounds like they're really unhappy about the overworld. Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the words overworld or underworld when we were living up there. Is it only something the inmates down here say? That's
Claro,
true.
la gente ya empieza a acostumbrarse ya. Muy bien, ¿qué más tenemos? Una última charla. ¿Qué hay aquí? A ver. Aparte de un ventilador gigante. Ese gordito.
There's a group of people over there.
Lo logré, dejé de ser furro.
So I say, that's not a
Y ahora eres un dios supremo, capaz de destruir el universo con un chasquido, el cual solamente utiliza el 0.000000000000001% de tu poder. Fantástico.
Sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like you were talking about something private.
What's the matter? They're just looking to join in on our fun, that's all.
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to
Shaggy, pero con la M. Espera, es el Shaggy, pero con la cara de...
Fine.
del Chimps, me parece, porque le has puesto Shamgy, o sea, es el Shaggy, pero con la cara del Chimps, creo. Me parece, no veo, muy chiquito veo. Oye, no les damos prisa así, está bien, den gracias que no nos disgustan tanto. Ese gordito me da risa.
You hear that, Quisto? What nice!
Quisto todavía.
Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I right?
Este men se come 3 pasteles al día.
Then I know you two.
Él es el maestro de los
Are we
pasteles.
that famous?
You kidding? How often does anyone get a personal tour led by his
Ay,
grace
la
himself?
gente gordita es graciosa.
Practically everyone was talking about it. Word has it.
Ahora clipeen y digan, Lobito gordofóbico. Ya veo, ya. Lobito, eres gordofóbico.
I like the way you put it. You see, people with a good attitude can join our group anytime.
Creo que sí clipearon
Unlike
una
some of
vez
the others
un...
here.
No, pero no fui yo. Yo vi, encontré un clip, pero no era... No. No sé, alguien había clipeado algo que yo dije. Pero no tiene casi nada de vistas ese clip que sacaron. Voy a buscarlo a ver para compartir. No, porque ni yo me acordaba lo que había dicho.
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon.
People usually call us the bombshell bros.
Fue en esa época cuando empecé a transmitir bastante. Ahí por el año pasado
It's just
creo que
that
fue.
our information is always so explosive, and we blow minds on the regular.
So, you two
sea-
really like to gossip?
No.
Me diste una
You don't
idea y
get
qué
it.
bien te sale
Knowing
la voz de
intelligence will
mujer.
make things better for you here.
No sé
For
si decir la voz de mujer.
knowing who's working with whom.
A ver,
The latest rumors, who's
a ver,
not
mi
getting
mejor
along.
imitación de
Wouldn't you
anime.
like to know all that?
Oni-chan. Kawaii. No me sale. ¿No? Creo que sí, pero
Whoa, all this info's worth something, you know? You should prove you're worthy of it.
no es una voz así como de.
Lobito, de hecho, lo que estás haciendo está malo.
Te pone los lentes, esos lentes poto de botella, esos lentes que son gruesos, redondos, con sus dos dientes que sobresalen así. Imagínense a alguien así. Es que
Lobito, de hecho, estás presionando mal los botones. Tienes que presionarlos cada 0.2 segundos.
así me imagino a alguien cuando empiezan a hacer el backseating. Backseating es cuando el chat empieza a
Is
decirte qué
that
hacer.
so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping out with making those welfare meals. I've been working as a kitchen assistant for about
¿Cómo
a
puedo
month and a
entender la
half
historia
now.
mientras hablo? Es una habilidad que tengo yo para hacer dos cosas al mismo tiempo.
so
En algunas
you're the
cosas,
one who
porque en
made
otras no
those
puedo.
Delicious steaks. Amazing. You could be a professional chef.
A veces me sale el multitasking, a veces no.
You are correct. I am a true professional.
De hecho, creo que es por lo mismo que puse las voces ahora en inglés. Pues.
But enough about that.
En japonés no entendía nada, tenía que leer
Since
todo.
you like my cooking,
Entendía algunas cosas
I
nada
guess
más.
that means
Acá
we
sí
share
entiendo todo en
similar
inglés.
tastes.
Ni leo los subtítulos
Listen
realmente porque ya lo entiendo todo.
carefully. This little bombshell will help you learn what's really going on here in the fortress.
O sea, no te enfades con él.
Listen,
¿Quién se puede enfadar con
Power
un
structure
gordito?
within the
O sea,
fortress is quite complicated.
todos los gorditos
The
son
overworlders
buenas
couldn't
personas.
care
Son,
less
siempre
about us
siempre
down
tienes
here.
que tener un
We're
amigo gordito
basically
dentro de tu grupo.
dogs to them. You've already met the one person here you should never cross, the Duke, Wriothesley.
Son las personas
He
en las
knows
cuales
more than
puedes
you
confiar
think.
siempre. Cuando estás triste, ellos se te van a acercar y te van a decir, tranquilo, cómete un pan.
Those who have the Duke's attention get all kinds of special perks, even better treatment in the infirmary.
I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right? I don't think there's anything useful about him at all. Why does he visit the infirmary practically every day? Is it normal for anyone to be going in and out of there so often?
A ver, si alguien quiere estar todo el tiempo en la enfermería, y ya vimos quién es la enfermera en el capítulo anterior, estamos hablando entonces que estamos hablando de alguien que es un lolicón.
But did you know that Jurier was
Did
a
you know?
talented researcher from the FONTAINE Research Institute before he came here? There's no denying
Hay
that.
muchos memes metidos acá
I don't care if he
sutilmente.
was a
¿eh?
researcher that could turn dirt into
Lobito
mortar.
pasó de buscar
Once you're
morras
in the
chidas a
fortress
hacer la
of
morra
Barricade,
chida.
You're just another inmate like everybody else.
Pues sería buena idea trolear gente así a jugadores random de Genshin que me pueda encontrar explorando así,
Speaking of
o sea,
which, the
buscar
last time I
jugadores
saw him, he was
y
passing
decirles
by
que
the court.
para hacer llamada en Discord y hacerme
I
pasar
also
por
heard they started arguing in the
una
library
chica de anime
and got into a
y decir,
fight, right?
Hola.
Guess that's just
hablar
how
con voz de Loli, hacer
terrible
pasar por
guy
Loli
is.
You mean
y después, o
you're
sea,
a woman?
de la nada pasar con una voz gruesa así.
I never
Pero
imagined
¿por
he
qué
was that
confías en
bad.
una Loli?
But that Lord
Sería
Bean's
interesante
also quite the
ver las
guy,
reacciones de la
you know?
gente. Pero
She's
ahorita
always
honestamente
gabbing
me da
away,
miedo
got into
jugar
a
al
fight
Genshin
with
en
a
online
man,
por el
she
hack
also
que han
got
hecho.
sent to the infirmary.
Ese hack que hay un personaje que se llama Cave
I always see
y
her going
hay
to
un
sick
hack
bay every
que es que
couple
le
of
permite
days, too.
borrar, literalmente borrar estructuras, puede borrar torres, puede borrar varias cosas, las elimina literalmente y no se puede
You
restablecer.
don't think
Do you think it-
Ni reinstalando el juego porque
They're
el
secretly
juego
meeting there
deja
to
un
go on
registro en
dates?
línea de todo el, digamos,
but it's
todo lo
really
que hay
hard to
dentro de tu
imagine.
de tu propio mapa. Entonces, por más que reinstales,
After all,
no
I do remember seeing Lord
Lobito,
Bean
me
beat
regalas un
Jurier to a
skin.
pulp that one time.
De hecho, yo era de los que
We might be
jugaba
overthinking.
Gunbound y una vez se me dio la locura de crearme una cuenta, pero ponerme el avatar de mujer, o sea, ponerme a la hora que te creas la cuenta, a la hora de elegir el género le había puesto mujer. Y la gente, los jugadores eran más digamos, que todos querían ser tus amigos, todos querían regalarte cosas. Era una época en donde no había chat de voz, obviamente. Y yo lo intenté y sí, o sea, no me llegaron porque yo no acepté por si acaso, ¿no? Dije, después me descubren, me denuncian, me quitan la cuenta, no sé, algo me podían hacer. Era niño y tenía miedo de todo. Pero sí, o sea, en esa época estaban los Sims, los primitivos, los primisims estaban en esa época, en Gunbound. No sé si han escuchado de Gunbound, si han jugado Gunbound. Hoy en día ya no, pues. Ya no se puede hacer eso ya. Espera. ¿Me estoy alejando? ¿Tenía que bajar o tenía que bajar? Pensé que tenía que subir. Este sitio lo he estado explorando y es un laberinto total. La cantidad de capas que hay acá. Este sitio es un laberinto total. Ayer me perdí explorando todo esto. Ya desbloqueé toda esta área nueva, o sea, en el mapa. Pero, o sea, ya me perdí ayer. Recién voy con todo life y voy al 65%. O sea, toda esta parte de acá. Y en el lado de aquí, ¿por qué no salen los nombres de las? Qué raro, no salen los nombres de las. Bueno, en el otro lado, la otra, porque son dos áreas que han añadido. Son dos zonas que están dentro de esta área. En una voy al 65% de exploración, la otra ya voy casi al 50%. He estado explorando las dos al mismo tiempo prácticamente. Total, tenía que subir o bajar. Ahora tengo que volver a subir. Me cago en la... Odio este sitio.
Over here. Surprise.
¿Qué hay acá? ¿Qué es esto? Ah, un cáliz, ok. Bueno, al menos tenemos vino. Sigo preguntándome qué haría una rubia despampanante así en la cárcel. Y no quiero que me respondan esa pregunta de forma sucia. Me sorprende que la ropa siga limpia. Hemos estado trabajando con una máquina que literal debe estar llena de grasa, porque todas las máquinas tienen que estar engrasadas para funcionar bien. Este men, ¿cómo puede estar con esta ropa así, de verdad? No. Vaya.
That look in your eyes. You found something?
Esa transición estuvo muy buena.
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we found a boatload of information.
¿Qué tan rápido ya? 21 minutos. Wow.
Duo, you have my full and undivided attention.
En mi mente pensé que habían pasado solo 5 minutos. El tiempo vuela.
I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable after all, and Master Child probably went missing because he found a way out. He is
A estas
a
alturas creo que
harbinger, after
Tartaglia
all.
está muerto ya.
I suppose he's much more resourceful than I initially gave him credit for.
Le han hecho un 2 por 1.
This isn't enough for our final
Está
report
ahí
to Father.
En un ataúd.
We need to find out Master Child's exact whereabouts. Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine
Yo lo que
for a
quiero es salir ya de acá, de esta
he
cárcel.
actually
No
had
me
some
gusta
personal
esta pequeña área.
His agenda
Pequeña
might
digo,
be
pero
linked to his
es un
disappearance.
laberinto. No me gusta, de verdad.
His escape
No me ha
route is
gustado esta
already
área.
flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional diving skills to chase after him.
Well,
Y ahí es
when
donde
you put
entra
it that
Freminet.
way, it's obvious that only
Exacto.
Fremine would be up to the task.
Bingo! Is he around?
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. I'll talk to him about it later.
Bien,
It's
gracias.
the least I can do. We're all in this together, so it's only
No
fair for
confío en
us to
ti igual,
fulfill
porque
our
sigues
end
siendo
of
un
the
fatui.
bargain. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to collect all this information right under Wriothesley's watchful eyes.
Para mí que
Well, the
Wriothesley
information
sabe.
has always been our strong
Wriothesley,
point.
prefiero decir Wriothesley. El
Now,
Riota
let me
ya.
think.
Para
To
mí que el
find
Riota
out more
sabe
information,
qué es lo que estamos
Fremine
haciendo.
will have to retrace Master Child's original route. And if he's to do that,
Wriothesley.
he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning
Es
day
que no
at the
suena
earliest.
Wriothesley cuando lo
That's
lees.
6 days from now. And after that, he'll probably take another 2 or 3 days to return.
You can even estimate how long it'll take for him to get back?
Claro, se llama cálculo.
We've been working together for a long time. We know each other's capabilities like the backs of our hands. Traveler, what say you to meeting here 9
9
days from
días,
now?
tengo que estar 9
We'll
días
be able
todavía
to pick
acá.
up Fremine while we're at it, too.
Ah,
Oh, and there's just one last thing we'd like your help with. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we still need to make more progress on the investigation of the Forbidden Zone. Fremine's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel from the
Yo no sé
other
qué diablos
areas,
está haciendo Lynette
and
acá.
I'll need to spend some time helping Fremine prepare for his diving mission.
What do you want us to do?
Freminet es el que sí nos va a ayudar bastante, porque es el maestro de la
Well, I
natación.
won't call it easy per se, but I think you'll be able to pull it off. Listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and investigate the room and environs.
Ya, listo, tráeme un cuchillo.
You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the secret we're hoping to uncover. You've already met the head nurse, so she'll be less suspicious of you. Investigate the internal structure of the
Son los
infirmary
licones que
and
están
any
en busca de la
active dealings
enfermera,
within,
eso es lo que pasa.
and pass those on to me alongside anything else you're able to
Eso es lo que
discover.
están haciendo esos tipos.
But also,
Y justo
there's
coincide
no
que
need
nosotros
to take
tenemos que ir ahí.
risks. Don't
Entendido,
forget,
lo haré mejor que
safety
pueda.
always
¿Es
comes
porque me ves
first.
con un espía novata? No.
My apologies. I just started rambling out of habit. It was almost as if I was talking to my
Gracias
younger
por hacer
sister.
recordar a nuestro hermano perdido. Gracias.
That's not a bad thing, right?
Quisiera que mi personaje se pusiera a llorar ahorita.
All right, then we'll head
Tengo,
out and
yo-
soon as we
a ver,
finish
si yo
our
fuera ahorita el Lumin, le diría, tengo más de 500 años. Podría ser tu abuela.
Let's go our separate ways for now then. Don't forget, we meet here again in 9 days.
No, pero es la realidad, es verdad, la viajera tiene más de 500 años, creo. No me acuerdo cómo era esa parte. Ya me olvidé, siempre me olvido de esas cosas, de esos detalles. A ver, ¿qué nos encontramos? Esa Paimon.
Hey, stay here for now. Paimon will take a peek.
A ver, mandamos al drone.
There seem to be several people inside.
¿Podemos escuchar? A ver. No, literal no se entiende nada. Pero están hablando con la enfermera. Ahí está SAQUENME. Sigue, ya, sigue, ahí está.
Oh. It's a bit hard to understand them from here. So, why don't we just try to talk to them in person?
¿Qué? Irá. Ah, nos vamos a enfermar a nosotros mismos. Ah. O sea, para fingir que estamos enfermos vamos a provocarnos una diarrea. Está bien, perfecto. Qué inteligencia cósmica. La pobre viajera.
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground. Paimon doesn't know what to do. Freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion. Could it be poison? Let me take a look. Please lie down over here.
¿Qué sería que ella pudiera descubrir? Se envenenó a sí misma. Porque no dicen que las melucinas
Don't
pueden
worry,
ver cosas
I'll
que
get
los
you to
humanos
the
no ven.
bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly.
Ah, esa mano iba a agarrar otra cosa.
You can do it, traveler. Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you.
Se parece a Ganyu. A Ganyu nana. Ganyu chiquitas. Siegewine es. Creo que no sé conocimiento con eso. Espero que no estar tan bien como para levantar sus sospechas. Instrumentos de auscultación, ojalá. No sea algo que.
I see my checkup has confirmed
Ahora dice,
that
tengo
she's
que
not in
sacar el
any moral
termómetro para
danger.
tomar la temperatura.
That's our worst
Termómetro
fear out of the
rectal.
way. Oh, that's good. But I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Please relax and take a deep breath.
Siegewine me toca el estómago. Con su poder elemental se la ve más aliviada. Esos ojos, le está tocando el estómago.
Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. Does it hurt when I press here? And here? Huh?
Au.
But based on my initial checkup, there shouldn't be a problem here. Oh, how strange.
Maldición, habré sobreactuado. Wey, ¿me vas a acordar cuando yo me hacía el enfermo para no ir a la escuela?
Oh. I understand. I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all. Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad stomachache when it decides to act up. So that's what it is. Thank goodness it's not anything more serious. And there have been other inmates complaining about the food recently.
Mira al chef que deje de usar carne de perro,
This problem as soon as possible. Congratulations. The health risk is incredibly
Con los ojos
low,
parecía muy
so you should
sorprendida.
recover
Sí,
within a
se
couple
asustó
days.
por un segundo, creo.
Why don't you take
O,
a rest here
o,
while I go get some
pues le
medicine
tocó la
for you?
pancita y se puso en plan.
Miss Levine, I'll have to trouble you to help me
Eso
look after
confirmaría
this
que la
new patient
viajera
while I'm
es
gone.
lolicona.
Very well.
No más preguntas, señor juez.
And she hopped away, just like...
Oh, perdón. Te interrumpí, Paimon, lo siento. Genial, la infiltración ha ido mejor, pero aún hay 2 personas aquí dentro. Podemos deshacernos de ellas. Sigue, llamó Lurbin a esta mujer. Lurbin, ¿qué clase de nombre es ese?
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
Esos lentes. No muy bien. Si no deja de mirar, sospechará de mí. El hombre al lado parece haberse dado cuenta y está mirándome.
Her stomach aches really bad. She was stumbling about the whole way here, so Paimon's really worried.
If Miss Sijuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's no need to worry. She's the best medic we've got down here.
But it also looks like she's the only medic you've got down here.
Well, that's true.
What do you mean that's
¿Por
true?
qué los dos tienen lentes? Eso es
That's
lo que me
really
intriga.
misrepresenting the situation. Of course I can't speak for the whole fortress, but it's not like everyone imprisoned here is useless, you know? Though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about medicine, and they help Miss Sijuin take care of the sick and injured.
Yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of
Tiene esa voz
another
de...
patient? Aren't you a patient too?
Tiene esa voz
Where did your energy
de...
come from?
De este... ¿Cómo se les llama a estos?
That's correct.
De empollón.
Sorry, I
O
got
sea,
a bit ahead of
de,
myself.
de
Are you
nerd.
two also sick?
Ah, que habla con una voz bien nasal, así.
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups and to pick up the medicines Miss Sijuin prescribes for us.
voz así
That's just the nature of chronic illnesses. As for her, you could say she fancies herself as Miss Sijuin's capable helper because she learned a bit of medical knowledge ages ago.
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Ay, ¿qué pasó?
Start arguing now, please. Keep it civil at least.
Ya bésense. Se llevan a matar, solo se encontraron. Bueno, del odio al amor hay solo un paso, así que... Sáquense los lentes nomás. Quitando estos dos, no hay nada sospechoso en la enfermería y los documentos que hay sobre la mesa. No hay más expedientes médicos y casi no hay nada que valga la pena investigar. Oh, eso es una entrada secreta.
Hey! There's no need to fight! Everyone will be released someday, so there's no need to argue over
Reconozco
silly
una
things
entrada
like this.
secreta cuando la veo.
But
Release. It's way too early for us to
Fantasías
even
de
think
furros.
about
¿Por
that.
qué de furros?
And who the heck knows
¿Qué
if we'd
tienen
even
que
be
ver
able to
los
continue our
furros?
previous lives?
¿Qué tiene que ver los furros? ¿Habrá algo de... Sí, es una entrada secreta, de hecho, o sea, se nota. Yo estaba, mientras he estado explorando toda la prisión, me he dado cuenta que hay zonas que supuestamente se pueden acceder, pero que de momento no hay. O sea, quiere decir que algunas partes deben estar bloqueadas por la historia. Entonces, de repente esa escotilla, entrada secreta, es la entrada a otra zona que todavía no se ha abierto.
He just slowly walked off like that?
That's just what he's like. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and that's...
Suena muy similar a
well,
lo
his name
mío.
is Jurier, but I hope you'll never have cause to remember his name.
You really can't stand him, huh?
I mean, can you blame me? Who would like someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with weird research topics as he is? But there's no need to keep dwelling on him. I'll accompany you two for a while.
Okay.
Miss Sijuin should be back soon, and I'm sure you'll feel better as soon as you've had some of her medicine.
Gracias.
No, it's nothing.
I'm back!
Ahí está
Did you
Sichuan.
rest like you promised?
La ganjo chiquita.
Thank you for getting our medicine, Miss Sijuin.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest?
Si sus cuernitos fueran de color rojo, sería 100% una ganju chiquita.
Good. Here, this
Pero
should
eso
be
no
2
parecen
days
cuernos,
worth of
parecen
medicine
orejas.
for you.
O parecen antenas. Creo que sí he escuchado que las melucinas no son...
Miss Levine,
No son,
I
digamos...
left in a bit of a hurry
No
just
son
now. Do you still
Yo pensaba que
remember
eran como una
discussed the
especie de,
color
no
of
sé,
the pill
conejos,
you
pero
should be
no,
taking
son
today?
orugas. O sea, son basadas en orugas, algo así.
I remember. You said it should be yellow.
No me suena de nada.
Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours. Please, make sure to go to bed early after taking them tonight.
Tú no me vas a decir
Alright,
qué hacer.
then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon too.
Gracias.
See ya!
Bye. Ya, chao, chao. Chao, vete, chao, fuera.
I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right? I just want to double check a few details. If that's a... Those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the Traveler rest? So her primary symptoms are abdominal pain with secondary symptoms of nausea. Is
Sí,
there
diarrea
anything else?
también, diarrea también.
That's it. All right then. Is there anything we should know besides to take the meds? No, her base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure she'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please, make sure to stick to bland or less stimulating foods.
Ay, Paimon se lo va a tomar demasiado en serio y nos va a joder a cada rato por la medicina.
Got it. Paimon will hold the Traveler to that for sure.
Sashwai no deja de mirarme, que lo que ella dice y no.
Oh, you're going to take a nap already? Okay then, you get some rest.
Ya, ven aquí, tú eres mi oso de peluche, ven acá. Yo siempre me imagino que la viejera cuando duerme tiene a Paimon ahí como un oso de peluche, como un osito Teddy.
We've been to lots of places together. She may look a bit under the weather now, but she's actually super strong. Oh, so you're the best of companions.
¿Por qué hay
Don't
eco?
worry, she'll recover soon.
Ah, amigas, por alguna razón esta palabra te reconforta, te relajas y duermes especialmente. You try to cross the border.
How do you feel? You slept for a really long time,
Pucha,
but
si
we
tienen esa
never left.
referencia.
Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember to take your meds regularly, and remember bland foods. Thank you, Miss.
Tengo amigos que me han dicho que soy el Lord de los memes. Yo le dejo ese título a Black Dragon, a mi amigo Black Dragon. Pero es que yo tengo un conocimiento de memes tanto
Seems like a lot of
latinoamericanos
people have
como
been coming down
gringos.
with an upset stomach lately. I'll need...
Es interesante la cantidad de memes que yo conozco. Hay un teletransportador, pero está abajo. ¿Cómo llego ahí? Espera, ese teletransportador... Quiero ver dónde está ese teletransportador. Ay, me equivoqué de botón. Por acá... ¿Dónde está? ¿Está acá abajo? No lo veo. No, no está ahí. Debe estar más abajo todavía ese teletransportador. ¿Puedo pedirte un favor? Hazte tu mejor yape causa. O yape causa. Madre causa. Esa guá. A mi mejor acento peruano. O causa, o esa guá está. Esa guá no es buena, o causa otra que. Esta guá parece cárcel, peón. Parece pierdo acá, peón. Que. Puta, o sea, no, ese es el acento pituco. Es, puta, weón, esta weá. Así hablan la gente de Miraflores. Hay una zona que se llama Miraflores, ahí está la gente pudiente. Y esos hablan con otro tono, weón. Hablan así, pe causa, brother. Brother. No dicen causa, dicen brother. Brother. Qué asco este sitio, ¿eh?
You really are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time, you scared Paimon out.
Pero no solo tener esas muletillas del
No, but
P.
you kept mumbling things along the lines of,
La muletilla que tengo es el
"Paimon,
no.
you take
O sea, cuando termino la versión digo, sí, claro, no, no.
Paimon talked with Sijwin the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse, and Paimon didn't notice anything unusual in the room. Are you sure we're not going off track with the infirmary?
¿Estás satisfecho con mi yape causa? La verdad es así, no sé, siento que hay gato encerrado. En este caso lobo encerrado. Porque estoy encerrado literal aquí, ya quiero salir de acá. La música, la música. Paimon, tengo algo que contarte. En realidad en realidad siempre te he odiado.
Whoa, you really are
¿Qué
super
sería?
thorough. All those tiny little suspicious things that Paimon didn't even pick up on. We've got to give the info to Linny.
En los días siguientes, oh, menos mal que no tengo que estar 9 días ahí, ¿no? En los días siguientes Paimon comienza bla 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 bla. ¿Ya? ¿Ya? Ahí está. Qué asco ese papel, ¿eh? Consigues pasarle la nota a la Inet mientras trabaja. Es toda una profesional, ya que su expresión no cambia en absoluto y ni siquiera te mira. ¿No será que nos odia? Chuta. Y por fin han pasado 9 días, al fin. Quiero salir de acá.
Today's the day. Let's go meet up with Linny.
A ver. ¿Y qué hace él ahí? No sé qué está haciendo él ahí. Lobito en la cárcel. No hay nada que hacer. Oye, te juro que yo estaría en la cárcel. A ver, si yo estuviera en la cárcel, es que ¿qué tendría que haber hecho para estar en la cárcel? Yo no mato ni una mosca. Con decirle que soy aracnofóbico, pero aún así me da pena matar las arañas. O sea, con eso les digo todo. Siempre trato de reubicarlas.
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule. Nothing weird happened.
That's good. That means you didn't raise any
A ver, en la
suspicions
cárcel,
when you
¿qué hay
infiltrated
para
the
hacer?
infirmary.
Uno
We've
puede hacer
taken a look at the
manualidades en la
slip you
cárcel.
sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago.
Puedes hacer, no
And
sé,
as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated
armar
the
algo,
infirmary
armar
after faking
juguetes,
an
no sé,
illness.
supongo, es lo único que se me ocurriría.
Wait, why is she getting
Yo armaría
involved as
juguetes, armaría robotitos para después donarlos, ¿no?
You already went
Para
above and beyond
para
when you
los
scoped out the
albergues.
infirmary. To put it more bluntly,
Llega la profesora.
even if we were
Bueno,
to view that as
muchachitos,
something
este
you did in
robot ha sido
exchange
hecho
for
por un
Fremine's
preso.
help, you've already done more than enough. Infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same faces over and over and reduce the amount of suspicion that will fall on any given person. Lynette also felt like you have
Honestamente, no
already
sé cómo
taken
le
the
han
first
permitido
step
estar en la
forward,
cárcel
so
con este
she should
ropa.
be the one to finish the job.
So that's what Lynette thinks.
Yo creo que lo que le falta a Genshin es eso,
Well,
más
everything's going
skins.
well for her.
Más skins y a todos les hubieran dado, por ejemplo... Ah, no hay nada que hacer, es un meme de Napoleón muy fresco, digo si no sabías. Ah, ya, esos memes ya, los memes así no... Los memes muy rebuscados y
Then, let's go check on Lynette.
Hay
before
memes que son
Fremine
muy
returns.
rebuscados también.
If everything went well, then she should be wrapping up her investigation right about now.
Is now really a good time to go over?
According to my observations, Sijuin always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Lynette knows this as well, so this should be a good time to meet up with her. Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only natural for an older brother to
No sé
care
por qué
about
pienso
his
que
younger
mientes.
sister's well-being.
Okay, then let's head.
Oh, perdón, Paimon, siempre te interrumpo. Ok. La música es perfecta, de verdad. A ver, ¿qué hay acá? Un arco. Miren, dejan un arco en una cárcel. Miren, es como dejar una pistola en una prisión actual.
Lynette should be here right now.
Bueno, sin balas, ¿no?
Huh.
No hay nadie.
Strange. Lynette?
El pasadizo secreto.
Here, but why isn't Lynette here?
Tal vez encontró una
No,
pista y le
Lynette
siguió.
rarely deviates from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make changes on the fly, she'd find a way to let me know.
LOL, de no hay nada que hacer. Ah, no estoy volviendo a leer el mismo comentario. Pensé que había puesto un comentario nuevo. Mare.
Let's see if there are any clues around here. We can look while we wait for her. Who knows?
Okay.
A ver. Investigamos la cama. Esas camas son excesivamente grandes.
Signs of having been slept in.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending to be sick.
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up. Generally speaking, the head nurse would then ask her to lie down and rest while she left to retrieve the medication.
Lo raro es que no hicieron la cama.
Which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until she left the bed, or the nurse intentionally left it this way.
La enfermera o no ha regresado o ya mató a Lynette. Estas camas son excesivamente grandes. Ahora que las estoy viendo así de cerca.
There are some books here and a few files. They all,
Perdón, Paimon, otra vez te interrumpo.
Nursing, how to raise the spirit of your patients, a quick guide to the psychology of emotions, and the meaning of laughter. These sure are some interesting books. Who knew Sijuin would be interested in these kinds of things? She
Okay.
even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings.
Seems quite normal to me.
Qué
These are
aburrido.
skills that would come in handy for a nurse. from
Estar
time
ahí
to
todo el
time.
día en esa oficina, en la enfermería, solamente leyendo esos libros que ya te los debes de haber leído más de 1000 veces. ¿Qué más pistas? Ah, acá está el pasadizo. Por aquí tienen que haberse metido. Por aquí deben haberse ido.
We saw it before.
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well.
Ay no, mi perro está rayando mi
The space
puerta.
behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably a mechanism around here somewhere. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have contacted me for sure.
No sé si se escucha como mis dos perros están rayando mi puerta porque quieren entrar. No los dejo entrar porque hacen demasiado ruido.
Let's look around here for some more clues. Don't panic, just
Fundaron a un
take another
McDonald's
look.
por un dibujo que subieron tipo anime con una familia de pelo naranja con más de 135 millones de visitas. Doxeado tiene perro. ¿Abrieron la puerta? Ah, no, pensé que habían abierto la puerta. Fundaron un Ah, sí he visto. Pero era McDonald's de China, creo. O era McDonald's de Japón, no sé. No, de Japón era. Hicieron una versión con Genshin Impact también. Hicieron una versión. El papá era Diluc, la mamá era Jin y la hijita era Clean.
Guys, there's a slip of paper over here.
Y de ahí hicieron un meme, me
A
acuerdo.
slip of paper.
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message. You...
This is...
Is that all?
No hay nada en el reverso.
This is...
Show me.
No, iba a decir, le interrumpí, perdón.
That look on your face. Paimon's reading it now. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now?
¿Por qué nos pusieron de mamá a Paimon? No.
No.
Paimon hubiera sido la hija.
Is she already?
Ya la mataron ya.
Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning?
Ok, estamos jodidos.
Why? We did...
Yes, that is a crucial question. Wriothesley, he doesn't do anything without a
Wriothesley.
clear goal or reason. So this means he had no concerns about your activities from the very beginning. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by neuvillette, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. We're a completely different story, though.
¿Por
I'd
qué a
like to
ti
know
no?
that too.
¿Por qué a él? Sobre solo
Why
a
did he
Lynette.
only go after her? Don't panic. Just think everything over.
Yo no soy el que estoy
Have to stay
nervioso.
calm.
Tú eres el Fatui. Yo no
This
tengo
is
nada
not
que ver
like what happened
contigo.
last time. The situation's different now.
Tú eres el Fatui, no yo.
Wait, you're right. Wait, but that means the fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds. Could Wriothesley have let him go as well?
What
Ay.
does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
Dejó que Lynette y Freminette escaparan a propósito.
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure of it. Ah, We never
Es
should have
demasiado
sent out
específico
Fremine.
ese plan, ¿ah?
We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on our side. If Wriothesley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot now as well.
Lenny's getting
Entonces
more
hay que ir
and
a
more
salvar a
panicked.
Freminet.
We have to calm him down.
Falta de... Laine,
Don't
cálmate.
be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child. That was our fault.
No. I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this team. I was the one who failed to protect them. I'll go talk to Wriothesley.
Uy, ay, ay, el 1 versus 1. Se armó el 1 versus 1.
Traveler, please talk some sense into him.
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go. I'll find a way to get them back.
No, men, tranquilo.
He's rushed out the door. After him.
¡Ay, no! Esta chiquita estuvo aquí. No. La enana estuvo ahí todo este tiempo y escuchó... ¡No! ¡Esa sonrisa! ¡No!
I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? Very well. Then please be mindful of the time.
Ah, siempre supo que estuvimos ahí.
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking.
Ahora, ¿cuál sería un buen giro de tuercas de que Siegwine también sea una reclusa y como tiene conocimientos médicos, su trabajo es ser enfermera? Y ella tiene una condena que es desde mucho tiempo, de repente, quién sabe, ¿no?
These two. As expected.
Ah, todo este tiempo lo supo, entonces. O sea que la manoseó a la viajera por gusto, entonces. Vaya. No, es una... Con razón se parece a Pecora, es una criminal de guerra.
What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. Being able to read human expressions is quite the useful skill.
Qué miedo me da. No.
Wait!
No, se fue corriendo.
We have to catch up to him.
Desapareció. Genial. ¿A dónde fue?
Out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Wriothesley's office.
Puedo saltar, así que... ¡Pium! Ojalá haya un 1 versus 1 épico entre Laine y wriothesley. ¿Puedo entrar? Ah, sí puedo entrar. ¿Todo este tiempo podía entrar? Wow. A ver. ¿Se arma el descontrol? ¿Se arma el caos? A ver.
Come out and face me, Wriothesley!
Ahí está. Qué buenas botas.
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management regulations?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place.
Así que quería comprobar si de verdad podía ser.
Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. That means Lynette is probably still alive.
¿Qué sería que de verdad Lynette estuviera atrás de mi hermano? Pero es que me invitó un poco de té. No puedo resistir el té. Es que Lynette es una obsesionada con el té también. Una adicta al té.
As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted into your ranks.
There was no need to do so. The fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas. It was quite easy to identify your colleagues.
You removed our original members
Oh, no.
and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and
Dice
investigate.
father, pero que dice madre.
Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and
Y
so
obviamente
in
se está
control, why
refiriendo a
would you
la
need
Arlequina.
hostages?
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you really want?
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much.
¿Cómo
for
que
cooperating
colaborar
with me.
contigo?
Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress's finest tea. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of custody. So, where do you think he may be right now?
Wait, you can't mean
Está
you
en...
locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great
Hace el
musician, so it's
mini-mini o
only
el
natural
papure
for me to
papure.
want to have some cards of my own
Memes de
when it
TikTok
comes to
sí, no
negotiating.
puedo con los memes de TikTok. Es de TikTok eso, ¿no? No sé nada de TikTok. Yo
Besides,
no tengo TikTok, eso es lo
I
peor de
do
todo.
recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to
Eso es
have
algo
a
que quiero ver
face-to-face
porque
meeting with
TikTok
the Lord of
honestamente
the
me parece
Fortress
muy
of Meripede,
cringe.
regardless of whether it was in a personal or a professional
No sé qué
capacity.
subiría aquí al
Well, you
TikTok.
got your wish.
Toctic.
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in the fortress.
Some of
Este
my
men,
folks just
este
happen
men
to
es
hear a thing or
malévolo,
two,
¿eh? Ya me
that's
estoy
all.
dando cuenta ya.
In any case, I will be straight with you. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of that changed. Mr. Linney,
¿No son de
the
TikTok?
cards are stacked against you right now.
¿Qué clase de
Miss
moda
Lynette
es esa?
is in
Mini
my
mini.
hands,
Después
and
lo voy a
Mr.
buscar. A ver.
Fremine is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for
Yo
a cup
tampoco
of
tengo
tea
TikTok.
with me.
Qué bien, qué bien. Hay esperanza en la juventud entonces.
But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as
Lini, tú mismo
important
te
as a
estás
harbinger
respondiendo en
like
realidad
Father
con
to
lo que
come
acabas
here
de
in
decir.
person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite a tea
Básicamente estás
collection.
diciéndolo, ella jamás vendría aquí, por eso nos mandó a nosotros, pero ella nos quiere bastante, no como para mandarnos aquí, pero aún así nos mandó aquí, pero ella no quiere venir aquí, o sea, decídete.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest in the fortress's secret? Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you refuse...
Pero dicen father, pero ella es mujer, a menos que...
Lenny!
¿Y por qué, hermano? ¿Qué pasa? Este men está loco.
Why don't you try to see things from my perspective?
Si disléxico fuera Lobito.
From the very beginning, the Fatui has been actively infiltrating my fortress.
Mejor comentario de todo el stream, ¿eh? Ese es el mejor comentario de todo el stream. Ya está, ya.
But that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremine left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how you look at it, the responsibility for this falls on you.
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6,
5.
Wait,
2,
Está contando.
1. Time's up. It really is a shame, Mr. Linney.
Wriothesley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my afternoon tea.
Un momento, por favor, ¿no podemos seguir hablando?
Yeah, listen to the traveler. If you can't talk to Linny, can you at least talk to us?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws.
Yo también quiero salvarlos a ellos. Ahora va a decir, entonces también eres mi enemigo. Mi enemigo.
Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a
Pensé que
thing or two
contando
about
era
what
el
you
tiempo
found?
para escapar antes de la balacera. Iba a sacar un revólver y le volaba los sesos.
I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
Es que no va a ser. Recuerdo que para trabajar a la hora de comida del tercer día. Y otra vez estas cosas. Ok. Ya. ¿Qué pasa si se viola la norma secreta? Ya. La comida. ¿Quién verá que trabajas?
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. It seems like she can perceive the general state of a person's health just by... Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. But the product has to undergo a trial because even Fonta's own employees have a lot of reservations about it. The research note said that the Melusine race perceives... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the... I've been told that the infirmary is always...
A ver, esta pista. ¿Bajo qué circunstancias?
The Fonta promoter has been struggling because... We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near... Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial.
No, esta no
The
es.
research note said that the Melusine race...
No. Estas dos. Hay otras dos que son.
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament... The
Y el de
promoter
Fonta
has
creo
been
que es. No.
The Fonta promoter has been struggling. We often see Miss Sijuin
¿Ya?
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place... I've been told that the infirmary is always...
Ahí está. Ven, estas cosas me enredan porque pareciera que todas fueran la opción correcta.
What's going on? Paimon understands it now. Who would have guessed? The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3
Otra
days
vez.
in a row.
Paimon
and if
Watson.
they do, they'll get strange meat in their welfare meal.
Otra vez, Paimon
At
Watson.
first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. But in reality, they were all prepared by Sijuin, the head nurse. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of work. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sijuin visits the cafeteria right before lunch. And Sijuin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want anyone to find out about what she does. Unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently
Exacto, y prepara una comida que solo a las melusinas le gustaría.
The recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals cannot taste the care within and usually just freak out. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijuin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's all right. Now for my next question.
Otra vez.
There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration Ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight.
Creo que te vas a apostar por la mañana de esa interacción un paquete de contenido líquido. A ver. Ya, tenemos la botella.
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for...
No, estos son los datos de Fonta.
Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial.
Son todos los datos de Fonta acá.
The Fonta promoter has been struggling because the research note said that the Melusine rate...
No, este no es, este es.
According to Collins, the pancreas...
¿Qué? ¡No puede ser!
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the
Este no es.
We often see Miss Sijuin observe... The Fonta promoter
Esta de hecho es porque habla de Fonta.
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta...
Ya, esta también tiene que ver con Fonta, con... Pero ¿cuál falta?
The Fonta promoter has been...
Ah, es la misma.
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament...
No, este ya está.
We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before...
No puede ser esta porque... Tiene que
The
ser esta
research
acá.
note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very...
¿Será esta? Ay, no me friegues. ¿Qué pasa si encuentras el chupacabras y te dibujas una cabra? No voy a leer eso en el stream, ¿de acuerdo? Pero... buen chiste.
I've been told that the infirmary is all...
Yo también me lo pregunto. ¿Se abrió una nueva, me parece?
Fonta's internal reports suggest...
Ah, falta una. ¿Quién envía?
We often see Miss Sijuin...
Sijuin. Entonces Sijuin... No, no es Sijuin. ¿Quién es?
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only...
No me friegues. Yo he seleccionado esas tres al comienzo. ¿Qué? ¿El orden también importa? Creo que no estoy leyendo la pregunta de arriba. Creo que una vez alguien me lo dijo en un stream pasado. Que tengo que leer la pregunta de arriba. Ok, ok.
Is about how people are not supposed to bet on both boxers at the same time. People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest
puedo tomarla en serio con esos lentes.
packaged new Fonta trial product. A blood red drink. It's no wonder even Fonta's own staff were questioning the company's decision making. The company,
Pero es la Fonta, ¿cuál inglesa? La Fonta roja.
decided to try to trial the product, and they came to the fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Pancration tournament so they could push their new product. But the Duke completely refused to even entertain the idea. The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand their true value would bother buying a Fonta product here. And so, only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same match.
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery. Although, based on your description, that Fonta
No te has
promoter is
tomado...
a bit
A
too
verdad, llevamos
careless
una
with
hora.
words.
Que salgamos de acá del
Just
diálogo y
reconsider my
tomamos
collaboration
una
with the
Fonta.
company. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Aún no tenemos suficientes pistas para responder eso. ¿Qué secreto ocultan los dos pacientes?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Wriothesley. You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question.
Leine!
You'll pay for this!
Ah,
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sijuin. That was...
It was nothing, Your Grace.
le disparó con un dardo.
Sijuin? Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully functional.
Ya, esa va a ser parte de sus habilidades, estoy seguro, cuando salga. Cuando sea jugable. La E seguro, la habilidad elemental. Dispara un dardo que duerme al enemigo. Estamos hablando de la Ana de Genshin. Dejó Overwatch y se convirtió en una loli. Y ahora también duerme enemigos aquí. Se le acabó el presupuesto.
someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us? But I really am just doing what Monsieur Neuvillette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits right now. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace?
My dear Sigewinne, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. What are you talking about?
¿La hora de
What
qué?
time?
¿Es la hora del té?
Take me if you want. Let them go.
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving anytime
Oh,
now.
¿quiénes?
I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigewinne, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You... What are you doing?
I believe I hear footsteps.
A ver, ¿quién viene? 2 personas con... Lynette y Ferminet. Ah, Clorin.
Ah,
Clora.
Miss Clorinde.
Clorinda.
My
Doña
lord.
Clorinda.
Freminet.
Ah, el Ferminet está desmayado.
Freminet.
What's going on? What is Clorinde doing here?
Work.
Trabajo. ¿Espera qué?
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Freminet? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
¿Los síntomas de qué?
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. Must have consumed
No, se va a
all
disolver,
your
se va a
seawater.
disolver. El agua esa que te disuelve.
What did you say?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Freminet a more thorough checkup. Your Grace, I'll leave the rest to you.
I'll talk to Clorinde while you get Freminet to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
¿Y ahora qué? Oh. Ok, esperamos entonces. Pero no podemos continuar sin antes tomarnos una rica y refrescante Fonta. Ah, listo. Ahora sí podemos seguir. Linney, a ver, ¿con quién debo hablar? A ver, con Linney. Linney tiene cara de asco. Como si ni quisiera que Sigewinne tocara a Freminet. Bueno. Sigewinne lo está examinando concienzudamente. No parece demasiado seria, así que imagino que son buenas noticias. Lo está curando así con el poder de la amistad, así con la mano, ¿sí?
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large
Ah,
amount
no se va a
of
disolver,
primordial
entonces.
seawater. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now and move him to the infirmary once he's
Por cierto,
recovered
es un
a bit more.
chico. Es un chico. Parece una chica, pero no, es un chico. Es un trapito.
Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have a single clinic in the fortress, however.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress? How could that possibly happen?
Please, look after Mr. Freminet for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
¿Dónde tienen a Lynette?
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around
Esta
now.
woman anda
You might
disparándole a
not
todos
believe
con su
me, but
dardo
His Grace
tranquilizador.
and I
Ya me
actually
agradó
made
ya.
some snacks and tea for her.
Ya. Bueno, al menos ya Linney ya está más tranquilo ya. Ya, ok. Con Freminet no se puede ni hablar, ¿no? No puede ni hablar tampoco. A ver, ¿qué tienen que decir ustedes
What's
dos?
that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sigewinne may have been forced to shoot Mr. Linney again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed.
Este botón que pueden ver aquí, este botoncito
has increased significantly.
está luchando por su vida ahí, ese botón. Wow.
I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad.
O sea, el agua del mar de
But if one were
Fontaine
to stay
o
for
del
any
lago se
significant
está
amount of
llenando de
time,
agua primigenia. Fantástico.
Well, you can see how that boy is doing.
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on
Acá se ve mejor como este botón está. Acá puedes ver por qué estoy diciendo que el botón está luchando por su vida. Miren acá.
It's a bad sign if you're having
Es el
to plead
botón
your
más
case
fuerte
to
de todo.
Neuvillette.
Está como el Spider-Man tratando de detener el tren.
Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then.
Me
I
recuerda,
suppose.
a ver, ¿a quién se parece? Es una
Actually,
mezcla
you have
entre
time?
Uro, Crony
I
y
would like
Nerissa
to dye my
Ravenclaw.
hair.
Referencias de Hololive aquí en el canal.
Linny, are you okay?
I'll be fine. They're all here now. Don't worry about me.
Are you sure? You don't look alright.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual effects of the
Alguien tiene que
tranquilizer
decirle
shot.
a Sichuan que no puede ir por ahí simplemente durmiendo a la gente con un tranquilizador.
Lenny! Oh, Traveler, Paimon, you're here.
Y Freminet.
Is he...
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
Vomita ahí. ¿Estás bien, causa?
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette, together?
On it. Traveler,
Tienen que
you
cargarlo
seem
hasta
pretty
allá.
worried about him. Want to come with us?
Pero por su pupu.
The Duke and Clarender gone.
Qué sospechoso que se hayan ido los
Went to
dos.
get some tea.
Sí, claro. ¿No quiere pasar a tomar un té? No será mucha molestia. Pase usted después de usted.
Since she only just returned from rescuing Fremini.
Interesante que venga Clorint aquí hasta abajo a buscarlo a wriothesley y se vayan a tomar un té a escondidas, a solas. No digo nada, solo sospecho cosas, ¿no? Sospecho. Y ¿saben qué? La fonta me ha dado un poco de hambre, así que me voy a comer un champiñón. Ahora sí. ¿Y ahora dónde tengo que ir? A la enfermería. ¿Dónde está la enfermería? ¿Puedo...? No. ¡Ah! De repente ya puedo desbloquear ese teletransportador que está por acá. No, está más abajo. Ok. No. Este sí, en este de acá. A ver. ¿Por qué todo está tan lejos? Siendo un sitio que técnicamente es pequeño, da la impresión de que todo está lejos. ¿Así serán las cárceles? Tartaglia está con nosotros en espíritu ahorita. No me salió el Line, de hecho, perdí el 50-50 en su banner. No, perdí el 50-50 en el banner de Yelan. Yo decía, si gano el 50-50, si me sale la segunda constelación de Yelan, ya puleaba en el banner de Line, a ver si me salía también. Pero no, perdí el 50-50.
Lenny. Lynette.
We're all here.
Where am I?
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine. And you are no longer in any danger.
Exacto.
How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long.
Since last I saw my
The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
El agua, sí, es agua primigenia.
We can talk about it after you've recovered.
El agua ácida.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no
Ya no
one
te
should touch
preocupes
it.
por Genshin Impact. Unity se redimió y dijo que era bait. Honestamente, creo que sería la mejor forma de salir del problema que se han metido hoy los de Unity.
The pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
A ver. Ahí están las tuberías. Hay que ir ahí entonces. Ok, demasiada larga esa carga. A ver. Ah, nos fuimos hasta ahí.
I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time.
O esto es un recuerdo. Creo que es un recuerdo.
Where could Master Child be?
Sí, es un recuerdo entonces. Es Freminet. ¿Qué espada es esta? A ver, repito, vamos a ver. Gran espada real, ok. ¿Qué artefactos tenemos? Ritual antiguo de la nobleza. ¿Cuánto tenemos de atributos? 57.91, bueno, exacto. 3 constelaciones y talentos al 8, ok. I'm fine, estoy fino. Buen inglés, ¿eh? A ver, ¿dónde tengo que ir ahora? Oh.
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
Ok, más rompecabezas. Espero que no sea algo tan engorroso. Oh, interesante. Como un reloj esto. Este es un dominio prácticamente, porque hay portal de resurrección. Ahora esto acá. Y toda la máquina sube, sí, ya sabía. Y ahora tengo que irme por aquí.
It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
No gira. Parece que el disco está atascado y no puede seguir girando. Tal vez se podrías ajustar. ¿Qué? ¿El qué? Pero, ¿qué decía? Ya, parece que el disco está atascado y no puede seguir girando. Tal vez puedas ajustar el ángulo para que subiese de nivel. ¿Qué? ¿Pero cómo? Ah, ya, desde abajo. Desde abajo y lo hacemos girar y lo volvemos a hacer subir, ok. Ahora sí. Inteligencia cósmica. ¿Todo esto lo hizo Freminet solo? No puedo creerlo. Soy Easy, soy ese. Confía en ti, confía en ti. El men de Open English se debe estar arrancando los pelos. Ah, no, espera, no tiene pelo. Perdón si ofendí a algún calvo. Ok, paro. Paro con esa comedia fácil, ¿no? Ok, ¿qué hay acá?
This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well.
A ver, a nadar. Ah, él tiene energía ósea, ¿era? ¿Ósea o neuma? No me acuerdo. Cuando es de color blanco esta esfera es porque es energía neuma. Y cuando es de color morado es ósea. Solo los personajes de FONTAINE tienen esa característica.
There are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here.
A ver.
Wait. What the?
No.
My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Rayos. Ya tenemos que regresar. Porque estoy perdiendo vida. No, estoy perdiendo vida. Corre. O nada, en este caso, nada. Siento que si tus amigos y tú hubieran hecho un podcast terminarían en la cárcel después del primer capítulo. Yo creo que sí, ¿eh? O no terminamos recontrafunados.
This is bad. I'm feeling worse and worse, and I'm still underwater. I have to push on.
Ah, por cierto, tanto la gente de Fontaine como la viajera que tiene la resonancia con Fontaine, con el hidro, o sea, con la estatua de los 7, pueden respirar bajo el agua. Es para aclarar este detalle de por qué no están usando ningún casco ni nada de eso. Ahí fue a rescatarnos Clorin, ¿verdad? Por cierto. ¿Seguro que es hombre?
So, in other words,
es hombre, o sea, es
the trail you
obvio.
were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. But there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back.
Es un trapito, parece trapito.
Some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going.
Miss Clarand brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress.
Ha venido a ver el wriothesley, pues, ha venido a verlo para hacer
Miss
cositas.
Clarand, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You're still too weak, Fremine. You can go after you've had some more rest.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarand will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
Ah, sí, claro.
Guest.
Sí,
Then I can
invitada,
assume
sí,
Wriothesley was the
invitada
one who
entre
invited her
comillas,
to
sí.
come down.
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain
Voy a
better
buscar,
than me.
ahora voy, están
It's about time he actually told us what's going on.
en
Wanna come with us, Liddy?
en pleno juego de Monopolio. En plena partida de Monopolio, lo vamos a encontrar.
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave.
Understood. Then let's just sit together for a while.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now.
Thank you.
Ok, ¿puedo hablar con ellos?
I'm so sorry, Lenny.
I'm also really sorry, Lenny. I should have been more careful.
Don't say that. It was all my fault. I was the one who should have been more careful. You two were nearly...
Casi se mueren, de hecho.
Maybe I
Bueno, Lynette no, pero Freminet sí casi se muere.
No, how can
Si
you
se
say
quedaba un
that?
poquito más de tiempo ahí en el agua se iba a disolver.
Huh?
I'm sorry.
What I'm hearing is, we all dropped the...
Yeah, that's right. It's on all of us.
Lenny, we understand that you're worried about us, but we're worried about you as well. Please don't blame yourself.
Yeah.
Ok, nos vamos ahora sí. Me intriga saber en dónde está este punto de teletransporte que no he desbloqueado. No sé si está más abajo, si está... ¿Dónde está? No lo encuentro. ¿O se podrá ir por acá abajo? No parece que haya camino por acá. Bueno, vamos a ir a encontrar a wriothesley y a Clorinde en una tremenda partida de Monopolio. Oh, a ver, vamos a subir. Ah, ok, están conversando.
Excuse me.
Pensé que estaban jugando, pensé que iban a jugar Monopolio.
I take it Mr. Fremene's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Sijuin?
I wanted to check up on Miss
Sim de VTuber promedio. Prefiero que me pisotee que me ignore.
Mostly fine.
Sí soy.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now, then.
Well, want to explain yourself, Wriothesley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. Where should I begin?
Por cierto, les voy a compartir una historia un poquito asquerosa. Una vez fui a la casa de un amigo. Yo también tenía su PC gamer. Y estuve jugando un rato y noté que el mouse se sentía un poco pegajoso. Desde ahí nunca he vuelto a ir a ver a su casa. ¿Cómo que si eres... ¿De quién eres? Sí. Bau Bau. Es lo único que tengo que decir. Últimamente estoy viendo muchísimo a Fuwamoko, dos de las nuevas VTubers de Hololive, y me han agradado bastante, de verdad. Fuwamoko. Son dos en una, o sea, las dos transmiten en el mismo canal. Me han caído excesivamente bien. Antes de ella solía ver mucho a Gaurgura y a Eurocrony y a Hakos Bells. Hakos Bells también fue mi favorita, pero se empezó a cambiar su actitud y ya no me caía tan bien. No sé por qué cambió mucho su actitud. Pero recientemente de Fuwamoko son las que más he estado viendo. Casi todos sus streams he estado viendo. Aunque sea un rato, ya de ahí me pongo a hacer otra cosa. O las veo mientras hago otras cosas.
I'm also quite curious about where that harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is
en pocas palabras los usaste para que ellos investigaran y tú simplemente obtener la respuesta. Fantástico.
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremene has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true that you're also a former criminal?
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison?
Técnicamente tienes razón, el hecho de que estés aquí, el hecho de que seas el alcalde de esta prisión, el jefe de la prisión, también es estar todo el día en la prisión. Así que técnicamente...
Me, of course.
Yo le pedí a
I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work.
Sí, claro.
As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremene was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing harbinger already. That's not something you should be asking after.
Okay, entonces sí existe un área prohibida.
Investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremene.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time?
Yo no veo VTubers mujeres porque tienen muchos sims y sus miniaturas son cuestionables. Mejor veo VTubers hombres. Tú eres uno de ellos. No sé si considerarme un VTuber. Soy más un PNG-tuber, o sea, por imágenes PNG, o sea, que es estática.
You make a compelling case.
Pero no todas. Yo te recomendaría ver las de Holo. No, pues que salen en inglés, claro, ¿no? Las de español, es que las VTubers en español, ¿cuál es el problema? que quieren hacer lo mismo que hacen las streamers comunes de Twitch, como Amorant, o como por ejemplo en español, ¿quién? Como Ari Gameplays o Windy Gear. Tratan de hacer lo mismo pero en versión VTuber. Eso es lo malo del LATAM. Tenemos esa mentalidad de hacer dinero como sea y pues ese es el problema. No hay VTuber de LATAM que no sea horny, por así decirlo, ¿no? Que no sea así bait o que haga ese tipo de cosas, que haga clickbait. En algún momento lo hacen todas las VTubers de LATAM. Entonces... Por eso es que prefiero ver a las VTubers de HoloLive, porque al menos están bien reguladas. A ellas les pagan un sueldo incluso, pero tienen sus límites. Las únicas, las de HoloLive Japón, si son algunas sí tienen sus miniaturas cuestionables, pero las de inglés, muchas, todas son tranquilas. HoloLive es la mejor empresa de VTubers en mi opinión. Miren, más túneles, más túneles, más túneles y más túneles. Esto me recuerda a la cima.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or...
O sea, mensaje, o sea, pasaje secreto, tras pasaje secreto, tras cueva, tras elevador secreto, tras... Por eso digo, este sitio es un laberinto, no me gusta.
Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special. What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends
si
everything?
quieres meterte en el mundo de HoloLive, también HoloLive tiene su división de VTubers masculinos, ¿eh? Que se llaman los Holostars, también tienen una rama en inglés.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth
No
of this
suelo
place
verlos
for
mucho,
yourself
a lo
before
mucho
deciding whether or not to
el
tell
que más
them.
me llamó la atención fue Vesper, pero ya se graduó, como dicen los VTubers. Cuando se gradúan es cuando se retiran, ya se graduó ya.
So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Y era porque era un boomer. Tenía unos chistes más antiguos y unos memes bien olds. Bien viejos los memes que el men hacía.
Whoa, they all just went up one by one.
Go on, have a look.
Aquí no sé qué vamos a encontrar acá. ¿Qué es eso? Qué rara es esta sala, pero... Qué grande es esta sala, pero es raro que esté tan vacía. Además que el centro... Y hay un mecanismo que parece un esclusa gigante. Sí, no veo muchos VTubers, tengo algunas secciones, solo son 4. Entiendo, al comienzo a mí también no me llamaba mucho la atención, pero ya cuando... Una vez que entras a la madriguera del conejo ya no puedes salir.
The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position. Likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any very reasonable guesses?
La presión del agua debe ser.
I've considered both of those as well. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
O sea, mide el nivel del pH del agua, básicamente.
Primordial seawater? But we're...
And that is precisely the problem.
Antes sí consumía mucho contenido de VTubers, pero la mayoría se pusieron medio raras. Siempre mujeres veía como 12 VTubers diferentes. Es que para ver, hay incluso guías para ver VTubers, ¿eh? Pero yo pienso que es sencillo. Tienes que tener una, como le dicen en el mundo de los VTubers, tienes que tener una Oshi, o sea, tu favorita. O favorito, o sea, para gustos hay todo, ¿no? Pero tienes que tener una VTuber favorita. Porque si ves a muchas te vas a cansar y no vas a saber a quién ver después.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels
O sea, se está filtrando el agua que... O sea, hay un mar debajo de otro mar y el agua del mar de abajo se está filtrando al mar de arriba.
Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea.
Y se está mezclando y esa agua del mar que está debajo del mar verdadero es tóxica básicamente, hace que es ácido prácticamente.
If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at
Esa es
all.
la famosa profecía de que Fontaine se va a disolver por
If
completo.
this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
Oh, rayos.
Too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research.
Bueno, negligencia es lo que me está
There's no
diciendo.
single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left
O sea,
us by
por
the people who
negligencia
used to live
construyeron
here.
el fuerte encima de ese mar tóxico,
When the previous
fantástico.
Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land,
Al antiguo
all
arconte Hidro
convicted
se llamaba
criminals from
Egeria.
Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon,
Bueno, dejando ese
they
tema de lado,
gathered
Pokémon,
underneath
los
the
mejores
sea and
Pokémon y
began
con
to build a
mejores stats
fortress.
son
They became a community down there. in the deeps,
Vaporeon.
and over the years, helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased,
No,
more
ya,
and more
dejemos el
people
meme.
joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is
O sea,
true.
bueno, es la profecía que tanto hablan de que todo se va a disolver,
just as
pero es
the
porque
prophecy
está
says.
el mar primigenio está
If this
debajo del
gate
mar
fails,
verdadero
then
y se
everyone
está
will be
empezando a
dissolved
filtrar y
into
por
the
eso.
sea. To be frank,
Okay.
not really.
Ya caigo ya.
But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate.
Saliendo del meme de Vaporeon, si enfrentaran a un Pokémon y dijimos y a un Digimon, ¿quién ganaría? Es que
Prophecies
depende
are
a qué Pokémon y qué
troublesome
Digimon pones.
Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs
A ver,
of
¿qué
it will bring
preferirías
about the
ser?
second, and actually
¿Un maestro
witnessing it in
Pokémon
real
o un
time,
Digimon Tamer?
the third.
A ver,
Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
a ver. Por ejemplo, enfrentamos a un
This is it.
a un Charmander versus un Agumon.
Your Grace.
El Charmander es más rápido
The
que
results
Agumon,
from our last round of experiments have...
en mi opinión.
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone.
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
Pero él es el jefe, él puede
I'm
contarle a quien
skeptical
quiera.
as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if your
Okay.
grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of
ya,
Edwin.
Edwin.
Good. Saves me a bit of time
Suponiendo que hay una
explaining.
gata que se transforma en una diosa. Ah, claro, ¿cómo se llamaba Gatomon, no?
Edwin's main areas
Que
of
técnicamente era de
research were
segundo
archaeon and
nivel.
gravimeters.
O sea,
As his assistant,
estaba al mismo
Jurier
nivel que
is quite
Greymon
familiar with them as well.
y Garurumon.
I hired him
Y yo
to be
pensaba
my
que estaba al
technical
nivel de
consultant.
Agumon, de Gabumon, así, no sé, que estaba... O sea, en la segunda línea, no en la segunda. Yo siempre pensaba que estaba en la primera, pero no, esa era su segunda evolución ya. Medio raro era Gatomon.
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be
Pero tienen
Jurier's
como 8 evoluciones con ramas diferentes y los Pokémon solo tienen 3. Sí, es que los Digimon son mucho más complicados que los Pokémon.
See, everyone
Nos
keeps
quejábamos
asking
de los
this
más de
question.
1000
Are
Pokémon
you too sure
y
you're
nos
not a
olvidamos que
couple
Digimon
and just
tienen
using your
muchos
work
más
as a
todavía.
convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
If I dated her, I'd officially be
Ya
madder
bésense
than
de una vez
Edwin.
ya.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
A ver, ¿qué hay detrás de esta
There's
puerta?
another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem
Ah,
like the
ya sé dónde
fortress
es
can do
esto.
anything.
Ya sé dónde da esa ventana. Yo estaba explorando esa parte del agua también, en esa parte submarina.
Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Ah, aquí era entonces.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
Ah, no, no es. Pensé que era, no, no es.
What a huge ship!
Un barco debajo de todo.
This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Not much at all.
Nada, recién he llegado.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of
Lemuria.
ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Exacto.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try.
Ah, ya sé que para qué es estos puntitos verdes.
moment I began to
Estaba
speculate
encontrando
that the
unas rocas de
primordial
color
sea
verde
might
yo
lie
mientras
underneath
estaba
the gate,
explorando. He encontrado
I
como
also
3 de
began this
momento.
project.
Ahí seguro van estas cosas.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe.
Fortuna no es lo que está
Fontainians
en
need something
Warframe.
to hold on to cope with the impending disaster. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Seems like you're good. Come on.
Ok, podemos tomar algo más de té. No, me quedo sin voz. No, agua. O más bien, no, todavía no es la hora de Fonta.
I'll leave you here for now.
Oh, thank you. So,
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw.
Oh, ok.
yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Great.
Perdón, te interrumpí. Ok, ahora tenemos que ir... Ah, perdón. Estaba listo ya para sacar la Fonta. falta todavía. Todavía no es hora de Fonta. Muy bien, tenemos que irnos por aquí.
We're back!
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
La verdad no.
You be so much like Wriothesley, always drinking tea.
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, while I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me.
They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Wriothesley and Sigewinne.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it should have been the two of them.
I really can't make sense of this place.
Yo tampoco.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Wriothesley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations?
Tiene mucho mejor aspecto.
I took the time to rest, so...
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sigewinne is also busy with something or other.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of Meropide.
Ok.
He's good.
That's our Lenny.
Lo sacó a la primera.
Secondly, Wriothesley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him. What's more, the Fortress of Meropide is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Neuvillette. Wriothesley is basically the king of a no
Entonces simplemente dejó que sus compañeros buscaran a su uno de sus otro compañero y básicamente le hicieron todo el trabajo por él.
And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Wriothesley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question. If Wriothesley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
Ok, le contamos todo. O sea...
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Could Wriothesley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Wriothesley have known that?
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side? Which could be
Claro,
why he said he
quiere
just
ver
wanted
cómo
to
puede
negotiate.
solucionar el problema pidiendo la ayuda a un Fatui. Eso es lo más...
To me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side. The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Lenny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the
No, no hay
fortress with
problema,
us.
me encanta ayudar.
We didn't think you were going to do it.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Podemos volver a trabajar juntos alguna
Given
vez.
your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, we will try our best to protect you.
Aww, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm and safe inside.
Ya quiere tragar ya Paimon.
Paimon's hungry.
Oh, you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Definitivamente.
Another time.
Y en la vida real también quisiera ir a comer. ¿Tienen algo que decir?
I feel like I should try to become someone more capable of helping.
You're incredibly helpful. Lenny thinks so too.
Yeah, you two are always telling me not to push myself, but aren't you just like that as well?
Ok. ¿Se ha muerto mi chat? A ver, espera un ratito. Ah, no. Mi chat está bien. Qué raro. Ok, seguimos. Ahora tenemos que regresar al comedor. ¿Qué estará pasando en el exterior? Es lo que quiero saber. Llevamos acá un montón de tiempo acá en la... En el fuerte, en la prisión. Y me sigo preguntando qué clase de cárcel es esta.
Over here.
Creo que podía haber saltado, pero ya vamos a tomar el ascensor, ¿ok? Ah, ok, el ascensor no está. Vamos a saltar entonces, sí. ¿A dónde tenía? ¿Dónde estaba el comedor? Ahí al fondo. A ver, ¿con qué nos vamos a topar acá? No, nada más no escribo porque no hay... Porque hay personas que vienen comiendo mucho y no juegas o no pones atención. Ok. Ah, miren, ve quién está aquí.
Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sijui? And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Ah, miren, ve quién está ahí.
You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria. What would you like to eat?
¿De verdad puedo elegir?
Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Anticuchos con queso. Perdón, anticuchos y papa con crema y un choclito con queso, por favor.
Me too. Don't forget Paimon. No problem. Just leave it to me.
A ver. También hicieron unos batidos de extraño sabor, pero buenos para la salud. Dice que al duque le gusta mucho. Aunque tienen un sabor terrible. Ok, igual nos sirvieron algo feo.
Is this how it feels to be freeloaders? Wait a second, we did do plenty of work after all. Feeling full yet? How's the food? Delicious.
Todo estaba muy rico.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved. Sijwin, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings? A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melusine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you. You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister. Really? You're reminded of an older
¿No será porque tiene cientos de años?
That's great to hear. Oh,
Creo que las melucinas son infinitas. Son, son
when you
inmortales.
said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well. Oh, that. I
Y
just
Clorin,
asked his grace
Clorin
to
está
look out for
sola
those
ahí atrás
children,
comiendo sola.
especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully, Clorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His grace also sealed the pipes after Clorand left. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Clorand had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linney as well.
Okay.
We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger. You were all super considerate and really thought everything through. It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Neuvillette would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos.
No. Neuvillette no creo que venga para acá.
Good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard.
¿Cuántos días de condena nos quedan? De verdad es lo que quiero saber. Quiero salir de aquí ya. Ah, ahí está Clorin. Voy a hablar con ella.
Cloran!
Ah, it's you two.
How's dinner?
It's all right. Miss Sijwin really put in a lot of effort.
So we heard
Tiene un
that
acento
Wriothesley
inglés,
invited
pero
you to come
finísimo.
down to help, and you saved Fremine too. You
Oh, it was child's play.
Still, Paimon didn't know even champion duelists could take on side jobs. Oh, and why aren't you eating with Sigewinne and the Duke? Won't you get bored eating by yourself?
Miss Sigewinne was with you, and the Duke has business of his own.
Actually, didn't Navia say that you went out for dinner with her as well?
Yeah. First time in a long time.
First time in a long time?
In the past. You seem to be enjoying yourselves here.
Sí, gracias a neuvillette.
Things will be getting messy at the fortress soon. Don't run around unnecessarily.
No puedo esperar a salir de aquí. ¿Puedo teletransportarme arriba? Esto es el mismo nivel, genial. Y honestamente, la verdad, este sitio no me gusta. Es que es muy... se siente un poco repetitivo esta zona, es toda la cárcel. A ver, a mí mira.
So much has happened. Paimon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed. Paimon's super sleepy. Are you sleepy too?
Sí. Un poco, pero bueno. Ah, llevamos 2 horas.
Delicious.
Ella sabía ya. Ah, no, pero bueno, no la está abrazando como un osito de peluche. Buenas noches. Me pregunto qué está pasando en el exterior. ¡Ay! ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó?
Who's yelling?
¿Qué es ese sonido? Se filtró el agua. No me digas que se está escapando el agua del mar primigenio. Hay una alarma que está sonando. Todos están corriendo.
Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
¿Hay una fuga? ¿Un motín? ¿Qué está pasando?
What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're here! Yeah, there you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
¿Qué pasó?
Quisto and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now.
Sí, ya sabía. Se rompió el sello del mar primigenio y se está filtrando todo el agua.
You two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as
Hacia
possible,
afuera.
upwards and outward.
Y el piso más abajo está la esclusa.
It can't be that thing.
Oh, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
We have to go find the Duke. You two just go and get out. Go on without us.
Oh, rayos.
Hey, hey! Be careful!
Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards. If you're already at the top,
Toda la gente está corriendo.
move as far outwards as possible.
Y nosotros yendo hacia abajo, fantástico. Esto va a ser esto me recuerda al Titanic. Cuando Rose y Jack querían seguir yendo hacia abajo.
They're here.
Just like I said.
Ok, ¿qué es lo que va a salir de ahí? ¿Qué hacemos ahí si el agua va a salir disparada? ¿Qué hacemos ahí?
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
Qué épico, qué épico. Va a sellarlas con su poder crío. A la miércoles. ¡A la verga! Bien, ¿ah? A eso le llamo poder. Pero no va a durar mucho. Exacto, ya sabía. Tienen que correr. Tienen que correr nada más. 3, 2. ¡Ah! Su madre. ¡Chut! Su máquina. A la miércoles, pero por muy poco. Por muy poco, ¿eh?
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense.
Tenemos que ir corriendo entonces a avisarle al neuvillette.
The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Miércoles. Bueno, les deseo suerte. Les deseo suerte. Eso estuvo épico, ¿eh?
Neuvillette, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately.
Ah, verdad, la
Furina will
fonta.
soon be meeting with the knave there.
Pero...
You must protect Furina.
A ver.
Will do. You have my sincerest
Tenemos que ir a
gratitude.
proteger al arconte. Pero no sin antes tomarnos una rica y refrescante fonta. Ahora sí, podemos seguir. Ahora tengo que ir a la ópera, dicen, ¿no? Ah, está acá nomás, pero me voy a teletransportar igual. Ah, no, creo que de hecho estaba más cerca si corría. Porque el teletransportador está más... Ah, ok, Lobito. Lobito, como siempre, tomando decisiones. Creo que ya va a terminar, ¿eh? Me da esa sensación de que ya va a acabar el acto.
Look, there are a ton of Fatui and Palais Mermonia people over there. Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Neuvillette has left instructions. Please follow me. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Furina to the...
Sí, voy a cuidarla. Una diosa inútil, tengo que cuidar a la diosa inútil, ok. Ah, Arlequino. Y como esta está sola, sin Neuvillette, no sé qué va a hacer. Pero al menos estamos nosotros.
So you two are the honored guests Miss Furina mentioned.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the knave, one of the 11 Fatui harbingers.
Cruella, igualita. Es Arlequino, la líder de la casa de la hoguera y madre de Line y sus hermanos. El placer es mío.
Already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Claro, porque sola.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Furina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Furina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
Un pastel que solamente hacen 16 raciones al mes, ok. Sí.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
Se bueno, y a Paimon también le gusta.
So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Furina and I.
A ver, ¿y quién autorizó a Tartaglia a ir contando todos los
I
secretos?
wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's...
Since we're talking about him,
Ok, confiamos en sus habilidades de Tartaglia.
His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive.
Furina está recontra nerviosa, se nota. Sí, es obvio.
Oh,
Tiene
so
miedo,
you are
tiene
also
miedo.
familiar with his aptitude for fighting.
Por eso digo, es una diosa inútil.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Eudex's neuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Neuvillette.
Ya averiguó cierta información.
Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier, as you well know.
Oh no.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Mirapede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
Maldición.
The Fortress of Mirapede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely?
Pero tampoco dudas. No hay nada que indique que le haya pasado algo.
That is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front...
No, no deja de meter presión, no sé si podré convencerlo, pero al menos puedo hacer que la presión la dirija hacia mí en vez de hacia Furina. Es muy similar a como lo haría Noel.
Letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded. Huh?
Ay.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
Temblor.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Furina.
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
Se está abriendo de nuevo.
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Oh. Él solo, a ver.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
El agua se va a salir y... ¿Cómo lo vas a detener? Si tú eres hidro, no eres crío, ¿cómo la vas a detener? Ah. Espera, ¿la está absorbiendo, me parece?
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day.
Ah, la
This
detuvo.
ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race.
Ah, la está haciendo regresarse.
A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe.
La volvió a sellar. La selló. Wow.
This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
¿Qué juicio? ¿De qué hablas? Mientras tanto...
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you
Ya,
said.
estos dos tienen una pequeña química entre ellos, ¿eh?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal
Exacto,
codices.
acá se están quebrantando un montón de leyes acá, así que...
Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay
Sí,
here if you have a
tenemos que
pressing
salvar
matter.
a Furina.
We all know you can't leave Palais Marmonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
A ver cómo va todo en el otro lado. En la reunión con Arlequino. Falta que... Ah, no está.
I
Todavía
must
está.
say, we've spent long enough playing house.
Ya sabía que va a mostrar su verdadera cara.
Miss Furina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought.
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontainian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden.
Ah,
Do you
le
really
dijo sus
think
verdades, ¿eh?
that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I am not alone in my doubts, you
Es que es la verdad, o
All
sea,
the children of Fontaine may be
parece
harboring
una
the
mocosa
exact same
engreída
thoughts
que
right now.
simplemente abusa de su poder de arconte.
Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high.
Furina se está comportando de manera distinta y se está refutando lo que dice Arlequino con mucha seriedad. No está actuando, esta vez va en serio.
Then I ask you, Miss Furina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
¿Es mentira o que no puede decirlo?
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not
Prevención de riesgo de desastre se llama
those?
eso.
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Furina, what is the purpose of your oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Furina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the
¿Y quién
oratrice
es
in the opera house.
la persona que está
You
haciéndolo?
see,
¿Ella?
even just getting
¿Arlequino?
close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Furina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Furina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex.
Exacto, es lo mismo que yo digo. Sin neuvillette
Oh, very well.
se convierte en una
Let's
enanita.
stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves.
Se ha vuelto muy dependiente de neuvillette. No pude intervenir en ningún momento, ni siquiera sé qué es lo que fue hacer neuvillette. Claro, eso es lo que ha ido a hacer neuvillette, pero Furina está recontra nerviosa.
I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer.
Arlequino empieza a hablar de cosas más relajadas, pero sigue sintiendo la pulsación de antes. ¿Ok? ¿Nos comimos el pastel?
Oh, Paimon's super full.
El pastel es una mentira. Algo me dice que el pastel es una mentira.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Furina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Furina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over... it is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so...
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, traveler. We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Ok.
Paimon's coming too.
Ahora vamos a hablar sobre tertulias.
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined.
Yo estaba pensando que en cualquier momento iba a haber una pelea tremenda acá.
Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
Ok. Vete. Ah, verdad, recién me acuerdo que estamos en el teatro de acá. Recién me acuerdo que estábamos acá. Pensé que estábamos en la misma Fontaine, ahí en la... En donde vive Furina, ahí en el palacio, ahí en el palacio. Pensé que estábamos ahí. Me había olvidado que estábamos acá. A ver.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
¿Qué querías decirnos?
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude.
De nada. Sí. Ah, ¿qué más?
That
¿Qué
was
más?
all.
¿Algo más?
Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them. Especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Furina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow...
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused?
O sea, se había ido de vacaciones y terminó metido en un problema.
Forget it.
Okay.
He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Furina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Furina to be handed to me on a silver platter. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment
Ojalá este sea el atuendo final que tenga Arlequino cuando lo podamos usar, cuando sea jugable.
It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do?
Qué decepción de diosa. Una diosa inútil.
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Furina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Furina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true
eso era también algo que yo también pensaba. De repente el verdadero arconte es neuvillette.
Is actually the genuine article. I have to find the Gnosis. If the neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively,
eso significa que debería pulear por neuvillette entonces. Porque si yo ya tengo, si estoy coleccionando los arcontes.
My dear children.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Udex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, the initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. Linny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering.
O sea que... todo sigue un entramado perfecto en realidad. Ok, el sonido del agua.
You
Ah,
should know
estamos
the
aquí.
rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Furina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Furina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had
entonces
imagined.
no es el arconte,
I
claro.
once surmised
Es
that
que no tendría
Eudex
sentido.
Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon. But now, that doesn't seem right to me either. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Eudex Neuvillette or Furina, neither fits the bill. Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity
Ahora que lo
of the
pienso, ¿por
god
qué
of the
estamos teniendo
land
una
of my
conversación así
birth.
con ella si es
Don't
nuestro
you
enemigo?
think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I
¿En
would be
serio así de
happy to
fácil?
cooperate with you.
Así de fácil no creo.
You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve. And as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we
llegó
will work
neuvillette.
together someday.
¿Neuvillette?
He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Furina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Furina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives. Permission granted.
Dale su poder que pudo hacer retroceder, ¿no?
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a
Si
speculation
me
on our
confirman
part,
que él es el
though.
arconte, yo de una vez puleo por él.
You can't tell us? Then
No, es que esto no
Then
va a dejar en
that's okay.
duda.
we can talk about something else.
No puede quedar en
We won't
duda.
try to force you.
If by the phrase "you guys" you are referring to Furina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics.
¿Percibió
I
algo en
believe
el
so.
frente? A ver.
The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
Ok, ha sido un día radiante y de repente se ha nublado. Ah, el clima depende de él. Y él es el rey dragón.
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking?
En cada nación hay un dragón. Y Neuvillette es el dragón de esta nación.
What? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Furina?
¿A dónde va?
Neuvillette, are you listening?
My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right?
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep
Claro,
this a
él es el
secret for me.
dragón.
Right.
Entonces tenemos, a ver, todos los dragones confirmados hasta ahora. Dwalin, Azdaja, En Inazuma es Orobashi, que está muerto. En Sumeru es Apep y aquí es Neuvillette. Es interesante. Tiene forma humana.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history.
Él es el sucesor del dragón anterior.
I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me.
O sea, Furina tiene que morir para que él recupere todo su poder.
However, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? Paimon is a little worried.
Okay.
We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Ok, regresamos ahora otra vez al fuerte. No quiero volver a ese sitio ya. No, aquí no es. Aquí es. Ok, voy a ir primero a los que están al mismo nivel, ¿de acuerdo?
Over here. Surprise.
Hay un teletransportador que no encuentro hasta ahora, no entiendo. ¿Dónde está? Ah, acá están ellos todavía. Ya va a terminar, creo.
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
A bare-teeth cat?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from an A.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clarant in person.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all.
She didn't want to stress you out,
Claro.
that's all. She's...
Yeah.
Oh, perdón.
Okay,
Interrumpo
but check
siempre a la
this
gente.
out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And also that she's looking forward to working with us in the...
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might also include you.
Mm-hmm. Father is very capable, and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
That does sound like something that Father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
For real? Then Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us.
Ok. Eso me llama la atención.
We
Algo
should
que
start
tenga que hacer.
preparing that tea party.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I'll help you set it up.
Ok. ¿Qué más falta? 3. Hay que bajar ahora. ¿Por qué tenían que ser 4? ¿Por qué no solo 1? ¿Por qué no solo ir a verlos a ellos y listo? Oh, me quedé atascado. ¡No! ¡Ay, no! Ok. Ok, perdón, Lomin. Acá está. Voy a dejar a wriothesley para el último.
Sijuin! Traveler! Paimon, you're back! Are you still doing alright? Did either of you get hurt?
Frescas como una lechuga.
But what about you guys? It was such a huge mess. How bad was it? A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur neuvillette paid us a visit. It was all thanks to him that we managed to suppress the crisis. Oh, of course, we must also thank you for the help you provided. How did neuvillette know that he was needed here? Well, Monsieur neuvillette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, he can feel the waves
Claro,
produced.
sintió el poder del agua.
I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down without a word. I'm so relieved to see that you're both alright. If you're not too pressed for time, please stay with us a few more days.
¿Pero ya cumplimos nuestra condena o no?
If you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Wolsey get your meals prepared. Oh, and please feel free to visit the infirmary for a break at any time. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable, and I've missed them immensely while you were gone.
Ok. Nos queda aquí. Creo que aquí debe estar seguro Clorint con alguien más. No sé, a ver, vamos a ver. Ah, no, es el gordito, el gordito. El gordito.
You guys are back?
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
Huh? No, not at all.
Ah, and here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me you just never left?
We're sorry, but we just had some business to take care of.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you. He was super worried about you, you know.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you super worried as well?
Something like that, yeah. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those two all right? Do you think they made it out alive? Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicking back with drinks in hand, enjoying the lovely scenery.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals. Is there? I mean, considering how they always love listening to all my gossip.
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Seguro que este... Gracias,
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
Ok. Gracias. Y ahora nos vamos a ver a wriothesley. Y seguro también está Clorinde ahí. Esto debería ser una puerta así automática nada más. Pero es que este sitio es más grande de lo que parece. Ah, están debajo. Claro, seguro están revisando que no se haya malogrado nada de la compuerta. Ah, no, están estos dos.
Courier, Miss Sijuin told me you still haven't eaten.
Yeah, I was working on something, so I forgot.
That's no excuse for... Huh? It's you two.
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep. That is still top secret, though. So don't say a word to anyone.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the one from the Duke's office.
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh, yeah?
Pensé que íbamos a hablar con wriothesley.
Also here so much.
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship, aren't you?
Not at all!
Ya bésense de una vez ya. Ya, ahora sí tenemos que hablar con wriothesley o wriothesley, ya no sé ni cómo pronunciarlo ya. Ah, acá está. Ok, voy a hablar de aquí encima de la mesa, ok.
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see 2 inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange winds blowing of late.
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still alright?
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere.
Exacto.
He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sigewinne's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds super busy.
Miss Cloran has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss Sigewinne.
Were the gifts
Sigewinne le da
milkshakes?
regalo a todos.
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Cloran received lipstick instead.
Okay.
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies. Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as
A ver
well.
qué nos han dado, a ver.
Are these from Sigewinne too?
Nope, they're from yours truly.
Bolsas de
You've
té.
already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so
sea que puedo
you
salir
may
de aquí.
continue to use your cell until your term is up.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria for free. Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
Ok. Vuelve a la ala de descanso para descansar. O sea, tenemos que seguir aquí. Fantástico. Seguimos presos, ok. Ay, no. Yo quería salir de acá ya.
Over here. Surprise!
Ok, entonces Neuvillette logró detener la fuga del mar que está debajo del otro mar. Y ese mar es tóxico. Pero es algo momentáneo y Arlequino tiene sospechas de si Furina realmente es la arconte de Hidro, o sea, la diosa del agua. Tiene las dudas si es que realmente lo es porque no parece, y la verdad, o sea, confirmo, no parece una diosa, realmente. Es muy inútil. Neuvillette sería el perfecto arconte, pero él es el dragón del agua. Él es el dragón Hidro de esta nación, entonces... La pregunta es, ¿realmente Furina es la arconte o perdió su gnosis o simplemente no está hecha para ser arconte? O sea, así de sencillo. Heredó el cargo, pero no está hecha para eso.
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners though, so it really doesn't feel the same.
Es como si hubiéramos recuperado la libertad.
Being free sure feels pretty special now.
¿Algo que decir, Paimon?
How did you know?
Porque normalmente te vas a dormir sin más.
Hey, that's not true. All right. Okay, Paimon just wanted to say that we really are an amazing duo after all. It's like we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. We've never stopped traveling or stopped meeting new friends.
Exacto.
There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but we've still been solving problems no matter where we go. Isn't that pretty cool?
Las mejores
You're
aventuras del mundo.
counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only adventurer here? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Paimon will also be an adventurer from today forward. Just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. Paimon's gonna crash, so you sleep soon too. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. The primordial seawater nearly rose up. That was so scary. We should be safe now, right?
Sí, puedes dormir tranquila.
Good night to you, traveler.
Buenas noches, Paimon. Ay, algo va a ocurrir aquí. Vamos a tener una especie de... Sí, ya sabía. La visión de Tartaglia nos va a dar otra... ¿En dónde está? Está en algún lado. ¿Una ballena? A la miércoles, es gigante. Completado. ¡Bravo! Lo que significa que eso es todo por esta versión. Ya quería salir. O sea, tengo la libertad supuestamente de salir de aquí, pero aún así tengo que venir a cumplir la condena de todas maneras. Entonces, eso significa que hay que completar. No sé cuántos días habrán pasado dentro del juego, dentro de la historia, pero ya supongo que no nos debe quedar muchos días. Voy a tratar de, antes de cuando salga la versión, el último arco, que debe ser el arco 5, estoy seguro que va a ser solamente uno más. Voy a tratar de venir aquí para tratar de iniciarlo desde aquí, para que sea canónico. Pero, entonces, eso es todo por este stream. Me ha gustado esta segunda parte, me ha gustado ver a Requino por fin de nuevo. Más tiempo ahora sí. Y ya me imagino cómo va a ser cuando sea jugable. O sea, es Pyro, todos esperaban que fuera Crio, pero es Pyro, así que bueno. También hemos visto que Siegewine va a ser un muy buen personaje. Así que va a estar muy interesante. wriothesley también se ve que es buen personaje. neuvillette, todos son buenos personajes. Pero nada, espero que les haya gustado este stream. Un saludo para Shamgi. Shamgi ahora. Saul Goodman, que ahora se llama Shamgi. El nombre de los 1000 nombres. Muchas gracias a todos los que hayan pasado para verse el stream. No olviden suscribirse, dejar su like si es que quieren ver más videos y streams así. Y nos estamos viendo en una próxima oportunidad. Chau.